Hello, friends, and welcome to Pod Return to the Waking Sands. We are a Final Fantasy XIV companion podcast where we explore the lore and story of Hydaelyn and beyond. My name is Jen, and I'm joined by my co-host and researcher.
I'm Levi.
Hi, Levi.
Hello, Jen.
How's it going?
Tired.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know,
How's Jen going?
One of them days, I'm fine.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, as we're all in a bland state, let's talk about Dark Knight Part 2.
Great.
Levels 50 to 60.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that.
Yes, we are. This was another hard push for us to get leveled. We are super busy IRL, and we had just a few windows to close the level gap in time for today's recording.
Bro. Yeah. This was a marathon.
Yep.
Getting this leveled up to the fucking last minute.
For my part, Jen, I exhausted my roulette options, of course, but had to do plenty of extracurriculars. And for me, I was like, okay, if I'm going to be grinding this out in like a dumb fashion, I may as well be efficient. By efficient, I don't mean like trying to maximize my XP per second. I was like, okay, let's do things I'd be doing anyway that yield XP while I'm trying to get myself leveled. I did more squadron runs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the most efficient XP per run, but also I figured I would grab the squadron emotes as well while doing so.
Yeah,
so I got those.
I got those.
Nice. And after our AI DPS chat last time, Jen, I feel fairly confident that the squadron does more DPS than the trusts do, especially after you get those tactics leveled up.
Yeah, I think that's the key there.
Yeah, my guys had like DPS or like, offensive level 3 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike my initial experience, at a certain point, like my DPS characters, DPS squadron members stop dying all the fucking time with the offensive strat on. So maybe there was some like level inflection where they got like an HP up just like passively or something. But they did not have any health issues whatsoever despite standing in almost every mechanic this run.
They literally don't move.
Yeah.
I'm watching my squad members because I ran Stone Vigil a bunch, and they literally do not move. The Typhoons for the second boss, they just stand there. They get blown up into the air every single time. It doesn't matter where I go on the arena. They're not following me. They're staying put.
Yep. But my guys, though, they suffer obviously because they do not do like AoE attacks unless it's like a combo AoE and single target attack. You cannot kill trash packs efficiently. You cannot do wall pulls, period. The healer is not good enough. Just hard no.
Right.
But also, though, when you're killing trash packs, they will focus fire one guy at a time. That said, though, bosses go down so quickly with them.
That checks out. It was a bit frustrating because all I want to do is just gather a bunch of mobs and get her done. But you got to go step by step by step.
Yes, you do.
And then also, like, if I go around a corner and start fighting dudes, I need to bait my healer into following me around the corner. I'm like, girl, you don't have line of sight. What are you doing? You
just got to turn off the attack for a second and let them catch up to you, then turn it back on.
Pro tip.
But they're real dumb. In Wanderer's Palace Hard, you know, the second leg where you have those Amalja standards that buff the guys in like an AoE?
Yeah.
They refused to skip those things. So I would turn off attack, I'd go to the next enemy pack, kill them, and then my guys run backwards through the dungeon to go fight the last standard we skipped.
Yes, dude, in Longstop, and then when you're on your way to I think it's the first boss? No, second boss, the Drake guy. And wait, is that right? So you've got the Ziz,
yep.
Right? And then it's the Drake. Yeah, second guy. Okay. There's 4 bosses.
There are.
I don't know why I was like, but there's another one.
That is not the average with the full game.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm like, but we have like the salamander guy too. Okay,
yeah.
Anyway.
Back in the day before they started doing a formulaic 3 hallways and 3 bosses.
Mm-hmm. So fighting that guy, and you know, there's like a little, right before you get into that arena, there's a little hut on top of the the thing above you.
Yes.
You can go up there and fight like 3 dragonfly whatevers.
Yes.
But you never do that because you don't have to. But my healer, when I'd get into the arena and start the boss fight, she would be like, but there's stuff up there. And she would leave the arena. I'm like, you're going to get locked out. I don't think she can get locked out, but she was trying real hard. It's infuriating. I'd literally be starting the fight and then she'd be like running backwards to go do the stuff.
Again, recommend use those control buttons on them. They do have a function and a reason.
I used it on Zamiel Darkhold to make them focus on the crystals when they got tethered.
Yep.
Otherwise, they would not.
Yes. Good job. So that was my squadron grind, and got those emotes, so I can now have a few more emotes in the old roster. It's pretty grim before you get past the early game. Very slim emote pickings.
Yeah, I'm like, I can thumbs up you. I can
salute.
Dance
I got like
you.
3 salutes I can do. Beyond that, though, Jen, I got almost a full level from side quest XP. Because apparently after we returned to Ishgard, the Churning Mists had so many more side quests pop up in the areas that require flight.
Oops.
And you may recall, Jen, because you did some of them, there are so many fucking side quests in the zone part 1. And now the number has doubled pretty much since then.
Ugh.
And they're like all Moogles doing Moogle antics.
Sure.
But I was like, okay, so I'm going to do these anyway because I want to go through them and try and glean any interesting story or like narrative bits from them. And there are a few in there, but there's a lot of chaff. So I spent a couple hours doing Churning Mist side quests,
oh my God.
part 2. And in the process, I got almost a full level from doing so.
All right.
So there was that. Not efficient again, but I was going to do them anyway. So I was like, may as well do them on Dark Knight and, double dip on my time spent at least.
Well, that worked out.
So that's how I got to 60,
though.
Jen. Yes. It's just, they're just not interesting. They took a hella quantity over quality approach for this shit. Mm-hmm. Like, how many more times can Moogles lose their nuts in different ways?
Ayo. Yeah.
I'm losing my nuts over this, Jen.
Hey.
Anyway, any other leveling anecdotes from you, Jen, before we press on?
Oh, God. No. Though sometimes running dungeons just on any character or whatever, if you level up in the dungeon, sometimes somebody is like, hey, congratulations on the level up, which always strikes me as like a bit much. It's very nice.
It's a relic from the old MMO days, I believe, when levels meant something.
Sure. Yeah. I'm like, whatever, bitch. I got like 2 of these today.
Yeah.
Not true. But this, I when I leveled up, I think to 58, somebody in the dungeon was like, hey, congrats on the level. I'm like, thank you. God. Just desperate. I'm like, I'm out of LDRs. What do I do?
But I did do my job quest kind of interwoven with my other leveling grind because I was doing it so condensed anyway. So it's like, may as well for the extra verbs. And those extra verbs do help a lot. If you're trying to like grind out 5 dragons of various types times 50 in the Churning Mists. So there are some new cool abilities that we get on the way to 60, Gen. These are much more iconic for the Dark Knight, less just like, okay, here's your like 2 AoEs and 3 basic GCDs. So we get cool shit.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I was like, yay, Salted Earth. Woo!
Yes, exactly. That is like one of the most distinct ones because it makes a ground puddle. So you see that, and you've got to tell the newbie, I guess if you're a tank, you know it's your own shit. But for other ground AoEs, like the Summoner one and like the Ninja one, you'd have to tell the baby tanks, stand in this AoE. This AoE is good. That one's bad. This one's good.
Yeah.
But this is your own shit, so hopefully you know to stand in it.
Yes.
So we get Salted Earth, that like red and black glowy puddle. We also get our dash, finally. Got it earlier than Paladin. Thank you very much. And also, this is the no damage dash, thankfully. So you're not incentivized to use it ASAP to maintain your DPS. You can do it when it makes sense for the fight.
Hey.
Thank you very much, Square Enix. And we also get our MP and HP gain ability. The first one you get is Abyssal Drain. This is like a big spiky cloud of damage that heals you and gives you MP.
It looks neat.
And at level 60, we get Carve and Spit, which is the single target variant.
Mm-hmm.
Shared cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Knight, I noticed they give you the AoE abilities before the single target.
Yeah.
For this and also for the MP Drain OGCD, which I kind of like actually just because it's a more diverse application up front, because you can use AoE attacks on single targets, sure, but vice versa, less effective.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I don't hate that. I did wonder that too. I'm like, why AoE first? It's fine.
Yep.
It's fine. I can still buff.
No,
my
I was
shit.
pulling as much as possible during my grinding, so was happy to have it.
Oh yeah. Word.
All right. Any other comments on the leveling journey, Jen?
Oh no, I think that about does it. Never again until the next time.
Yes. I mean, hopefully for the next job.
Like what? Fucking.
It'll be Astro is the final level 30 job for us to do. And that'll be a similar kind of push, but hopefully with more time in our schedules.
That's not until Shadowbringers, right?
Astro is a Heavensward job, Jen.
Is it?
Have you been to the observatorium, Jen? Have you seen the Astrologicum Astronominicum or whatever it is by the airship landing?
Sure.
You know, the aetherite that you teleport to is called like the astrology something.
Yep.
Great.
Sure is.
So yes, astrologians are indelibly tied to Ishgard.
No, yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm just imagining in his astrologian garb.
Wow,
not
spoilers.
Yeah. Moogle.
Yes.
Speaking of
Moogles, yeah, right? So we're back now to the job quest, part 2.
Part 2.
And surprisingly, our Warrior of Light has not been scared off the Dark Knight path after our dissociative experience with Frey.
Be like, okay, we're just going to put this sword in a closet and walk away and wash our hands of that whole thing.
But I feel like something in the job pitch really grabbed our character because we pressed through some shit in pursuit of this job. Like part 2 is not better. It's different, but it's not better than part 1. It's a different pile of worms.
100%.
But it's not flattering, and it's not something that encourages one to become a Dark Knight.
No! Dude's a pain in the ass.
But we are seeing something, I'm assuming our character is seeing something like a light or a darkness at the end of the rainbow.
I mean, it certainly is, you know, it's like, okay, everybody's having personal struggles on their path to Dark Knighthood. And we're like, what's our struggle?
Putting up with this shit.
Apparently, yeah.
No, that's not true. Like we talked about last time, the Ishgard story right now is very much Dark Knight. This is the time for Dark Knights in the main story.
Yeah, this is be like, you know, disillusionment, the job.
Yep.
So, all right, well, here we go.
Yeah, so after... And I feel like still we are missing a good role model as to what a Dark Knight should be in a healthy fashion.
Correct. We had Corpse and our base self. I don't know if that's, what is that? Id, super ego, one of them's?
Sure, one of those.
One of them's. And then we have Sid.
The other Sid.
Sid or Goo, yeah.
So let's see how this unfolds, Jen.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah.
Did not really enjoy this.
Interesting. I want to talk to you about that after.
Okay.
And we will see how our experiences differ.
Great.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad we have our divisive moments on this pod, Jen. Yeah.
Yeah, let's fight.
Let's do it.
Fisticuffs.
Swordy cuffs. Great swordy cuffs.
Great swordy cuffs.
We pick up at White Brim Front, having been given a pass from our prior bullshit by Lord Drillmont.
We're still in White Brim Front. This is immediately after our fight with Esteem, with ourselves. And we walk up to this, what?
I don't think it has to be. It was not for us, obviously. We took a small break, and I think it's okay to say, hey guys, I'm here to say sorry. I feel like this could have been stewing in this guy's mind for a good few days before he took action.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be moments after,
yeah,
but it could be.
We're still catching our breath from the fight, and we're like, hey man, seems like you got a question for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is a quote-unquote unflinching temple knight nearby, and We talk to him, and he calls us a true friend to Ishgard, as evidenced by the throng of faithful defenders, even Lord Drillmont. And it's good we're here, because there is an urgent matter that requires our help. And they tell us to meet them at Behemoth's Dominion. So we go over there, and we arrive, and then the truth of the matter is revealed. The unflinching knight is accompanied by 2 others, and he confronts us with what he considers the truth. We are a demon, a consort of dragons, no hero. He sees us for what we truly are, and he will not suffer us to live. And yeah, we got fucking ambushed like a chump. But we fight his 2 flunkies, and I think they're called dishonored knights. You know, these are the knights that don't answer to Sir Emmerich. And so we kill those dudes, and then unflinching guy, he swears to expose and end us, even if it costs his life. And then just then, an Aura stranger approaches us in blackened metal armor.
Before then, Jen, there's a word from off screen. Shall we oblige him then?
I was just getting there. Go on.
But the ordering is important.
Okay.
We hear a voice. Shall we oblige him then? And now in strides our handsome stranger. Yeah, so white-skinned, white-haired Al-Ra, clad in the same armor and wielding the same blade as Esteem. And this is probably the second NPC Al-Ra we've seen in the game.
Yeah.
And Jen, for me, the first time I played this was on my main, of course. And I was playing as an Al-Ra, and this was prior to me Fantasia-ing over to be Alala. Except for the skin color, this guy was uncannily similar to the way my character looked. This encounter
Weird.
On the heels of the Esteem fight was a fuck. Because he's got the armor, he's got the weapon.
You're like, oh, fuck, I thought I knew what was going on. I have no idea.
Yeah, but...
Is this Nega me?
Pure coincidence, though. This is a regular flesh and blood guy.
Regular guy. He's got glowing green eyes, lots of eyeliner on. He's pretty cute. So, yeah, he walks up. And, yeah, you know, are we gonna kill this guy or what? And the knight looks at the stranger, and he's like, you're one of them! And, you know, bro's like, so, you know, you're gonna beg for your life, or what's the deal? And we let him go. And he's like, I'm gonna get you, my pretties, and runs away. And then the stranger admonishes us for following an unknown man into a secluded area, asking, did we learn nothing from Frey? And we're like, oh shit, Frey? How do you know? I know Frey. How do you know Frey? What's the deal? So our reaction confirms the rumors that he's heard about a woman wielding Frey's sword in battle. So he asks what became of Frey and how we learned the arts, the dark arts. We give him the background. Hearing of our experience, he's not surprised. And it seems consorting with the darkness exposes one to some pretty surreal experiences. So he was like, yeah, you fought yourself. Very cool. Then we were able to learn so much with only a soul crystal to guide us speaks to our potential. Of course, we're loaded with potential. And he introduces himself as Sidurgu. Sidurgu, don't know how to pronounce. Sidurgu, I guess.
That sounds better.
We're going to call him Sid. Sidurgu.
Yes.
He asks that we meet him at the Forgotten Knight because he's got something to talk to us about. Sure, fella.
Yeah. And we head there. We head for the Forgotten Knight and find Sid at a table alongside a pale young Elizan girl. We've seen this duo here the entire time we've been in Ishgard. And Jen, as you mentioned some episodes back, they rebuff you if you try to engage with them until now.
Yeah, they're like, don't talk to me, in classic Sid fashion. But yeah, like visually, these two are diametrically opposed.
Yep. We walk up to them, and Sid immediately lays into us. I fear you do not yet understand what it means to be a Dark Knight. Sounds familiar.
That's what Frey said.
The first of us bared steel against one of the clergy. He sacrificed everything he once held dear in the name of justice. So must all who walk in his footsteps. Mayhap you think this will earn you the love of the common man. You are wrong.
Wrong.
To many, you will forever be a criminal, a fiend who sows chaos and discord. If you are not prepared, to deal with these consequences, then surrender your sword and soul crystal to me now.
Turn in your gun on your badge.
But we tell him that we're cool. We're cool enough to hang.
No, we're bring it on.
He says, though, that our actions speak otherwise. And here he clunks a sword on the table. This is the sword of the Temple Knight that we let go. After he swore vengeance on us, we're like, okay, cool, see you later.
Yeah, like whatever.
And Sid followed him to his car and he killed him. And he's like, here's the sword as proof. You know, you have to be hardcore to be a Dark Knight.
Yeah. Mercy, more like idiocy.
So now we get a taste of Sid's backstory. When the Ishgardians first met the Al-Ra, they assumed that they were Dravanians. The Al-Ra were fleeing Imperial occupation, but they were attacked pretty much on sight by the Ishgardians. Sid's people, though, did not go down so easily. They overcame their attackers and gained the upper hand. And when they did so, they showed the Ishgardians mercy. And how do you think they repaid our kindness, he asks? With death for every man, woman, and child. These are the wages of mercy. If you would walk the path, then you must accept this truth, for your enemies already have.
Boom. No more mercy, guys. Somebody's like, I'm going to kill you. You kill them first. Rule number 1 of Dark Knight.
Jen, we saw that last night in Moon Cop. If the villain had
yeah.
If our Moon Cop had killed the villain when they first met, then half the movie would have been skipped.
I know, right? They still have like an intact village.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot more alive people in their village.
Yep.
They'd have a complete whole watermelon patch.
Yeah. This is all extremely niche to some random B movie, but yeah, it was bad in a good way.
Apparently it's relevant.
It's very relevant, Jen. So Moon Cop also not a Dark Knight, and he paid. These are the wages of mercy, Jen.
He learned. Oh, I don't know. I don't think he did. I don't think he learned.
I don't know.
He's definitely
maybe
a lone
in
wolf,
Moon
though.
Cop 2, he will have learned, and he will become the Dark Moon Cop.
The Dark Moon Cop.
Anyway, Jen, if this is what it takes to be a Dark Knight, then our guy, despite our words to the contrary, does not have what it takes because we are way too much of a people pleaser.
Too soft, man.
Well, not that, but we just have to say yes. We can't turn down anyone. Exhibit A, the level 30 to 50 quest, where we do everything people want that we meet despite our darkness seething during it. But Jen, we are just lacking a good Dark Knight role model. This guy isn't it. He doesn't know what the Dark Knight is. He just has his own version he's playing out.
Yeah, he's playing the part, and that will become very apparent. He doesn't even know.
But it makes me wonder what our guy is thinking, though, because like we are just told you have to not show mercy. You have to be willing to do what has to be done and suffer the spurn of the common people to be a Dark Knight. And we're like, yeah, that I can do that.
We want to be cool.
We do want to be cool. It's kind of sad. I don't know what is going on in our head that's not delusional at this point, honestly, unless we're like, I want this fucking job. I'm going to say whatever it needs to be said.
Yeah, I'm going to buy the gear at the commissary and I'm out.
Either way, not a great look for us in this moment, let's be honest.
We look yeah, we're not cool.
No.
We're not cool.
So, we are told to go and embrace our darkness and return, and we do.
So, when you come back, Sadurgu talks about his master. And as his master was dying, he started to speak to him and Frey, like in riddles. And his parting words to him and Frey were, "A heart bleeds, a man weeps, a soul burns. Thence comes the darkness to consume. Yet even in the depths, the flame endures. Submit to the flame and harness the abyss." And the meaning, he has no understanding of what this is. He's like, maybe in the course of my duties as a Dark Knight, the meaning will manifest itself to me. But right now, I have no fucking idea. So now we've got this girl. She's just chilling there. As Sadurgu and Frey were out one day, they found the young girl, Riel, and she was being pursued by temple knights who clearly wanted to, like, kill her. And they didn't know why, they just knew they needed to intervene. And so they fought against the knights to protect Riel, to rescue her. And then like a day or two later, I guess Frey, or not even a day or two, I don't know, weeks, months, years, who knows. Frey was out getting supplies and he was grabbed because of that crime years ago, however many, whatever's ago.
In several sense, I'm sure.
Yeah. So he got while he was out, and that's where we kind of, so he went to trial by combat for that crime when he got snagged. So that's when we enter the chat. So Sadurgu asks us to help him as a co-guardian for Riel. He can't protect her alone. And if he failed in protecting her, then she's just as good as dead. So, well, really twisting our arm there, guy. I guess we'll co-parent. So we speak with Riel directly now at this point, and we had a pop-up. There's 3 questions we
Before
can ask
you go
her.
on, Jen, this is interesting in terms of like the way that he tells this story, because he has somehow kind of transmogrified this master dying words shit onto Riel. He said this thing, Master said this thing, and then we met this girl, therefore they're connected. And the reason why is not clear, it continues to not be clear. I'm not saying this is like a narrative flaw in the story. I'm saying this is him struggling for meaning.
Correct.
And placing this pressure on this girl because
Correct.
He doesn't know what else to do.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's a sign. I'm gonna go through the motions, right? This is what we do. I'm gonna protect the innocent, etc., etc. And then I'm just gonna do this, and eventually I will know all the stuff.
Yeah, but there is a gap in his story where he does not connect the dots for us, and I don't think he realizes how much he's conflated these two things together. Because when he tells us about them, they are separate things that happened, I'm assuming, close to one another. So anyway, we get our Riel Q&A now, and this is also very funny. I like Riel a lot as a character, Jen, because of just how reserved she is, except for these like little moments.
Yeah.
And she is just, the reticence she displays is very childlike, like of her age. When he first says hello, say hello, Riel, she's like, hello, nice blessings be upon you, sir.
Yeah. Just say hello to the nice warrior of light, Riel.
Yes. And now when we talk to her, this gets very awkward with our like 2 minutes of social time that we're allowed by Sid.
Yeah. He's a pretty oppressive presence. So we can ask her, why were the Temple Knights chasing you? And she said the only thing she can say is that the Knights called her an abomination, and she had to die to atone for her sins. And then we can ask her what happened to her parents. She doesn't have an answer for that. She just kind of stutters. And then, like, what do you think of this guy, Sadurgu? And she's like, he's fine.
It's a lot more than that.
I know. That's like the gist I got. Like, he's kind of cranky, but...
Well, Jen, maybe in light of the finale, this might resonate more with you.
Mm-hmm.
She says, he doesn't talk as much, not since Frey left. Sometimes he hardly speaks a word.
Yeah.
Other times, but I know he would never hurt me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then she changes the subject, as she does often when things are uncomfortable, and she turns to us and says, you'll look after Sid too, won't you?
I mean, yeah. Guy is, he's kind of angry, and it seems like long story short, yes.
More than that, this is our first glimpse into their toxic codependent relationship. And it is codependent as
oh boy, is it.
They both need each other for their own purposes. None of it great, but it's not like she is the unwilling ward of him.
Oh no.
She also looks out for him too in her own way.
I mean, she's like, we learn about it later, but I mean, like, he goes out and fights a bunch of shit. He comes back with a bunch of wounds, and now she's got to, like, patch him up and take care of him.
But she also worries about him during this. It's not like, okay, God damn it. It's more like, please stop doing this to yourself.
Yeah, but he's got to make his revelations. He's got to find the answers.
But before we move on, Jen, and get to all that shit, we ask her a few questions, and Sid's like, okay, that's enough. No more talking. Time for action.
Okay. So the abomination comment, you got to die for your sins and all that. Sadurgu is trying to figure out what it is that they're talking about, because the Temple Knights know something about Riel that she doesn't know. Well, maybe she knows. she knows. But Sudoku, she hasn't told Sudoku, and nobody knows. So we're trying to figure out ways to get her a diagnosis, essentially. So one of the things that Sudoku has heard is that the Vanu Vanu tribe in Camp Cloudtop and all of that, he's heard that they can like look at somebody and see their ether, and they can kind of pinpoint exactly what it is that's going on. So we're going to try that out. So we go to Camp Cloudtop.
During these journeys, every time we go somewhere, we get a little glimpse of Riel getting a chance to be a child, which makes a lot more sense in context, Jen. Here we get here, and she marvels at the floating islands for a moment until Sid's like, okay, we gotta move.
Yep. He's on a mission, man. Like, there's... he's... I don't know. There's no... Like, I get it.
I can tell from how much you don't care about my interjections, Jen, that you are over this already as like a storyline. But I'm getting ahead of myself here in my wrap up to say that there is a lot of character intricacies and focus in every one of these moments. If you kind of gloss over them saying, all right, well, Sid's being a jerk again, you're missing the moments where the characters kind of shine through. And it's more complex than just like, this guy's a jerk and this girl's
absolutely.
a pushover.
Absolutely. He's not just a jerk. It does read as very flat in the beginning. Very one note, like, oh, look at Mr. Edgelord over here. He doesn't give shits. But like it's clear that he does, because he's very concerned, like he's concerned so much about Riel that he asks us to help.
Well, more so,
her.
I would say that my favorite part about this questline, Jen, is the character work for both of these characters. Being like, yep, right, he's in a hurry again, kind of, I think, undermines the attention to detail that's put into these early interactions and how they kind of set the scene for the later revelations.
Well, sure. His behavior does raise questions. It's not a one note. It makes you wonder, like, what's going on with this guy? Why is he so standoffish? And I mean, obviously he's grieving probably from the loss of Frey, the loss of his master, trying to figure out his place in Dark Knightdom and not knowing how to do that. And he's hoping that he'll find the answers through Riel.
I wouldn't fault you or anyone else for, without having some faith in this quest line, for not assuming that this adds up to anything, as it has not countless times in the past.
Sure.
With other job quests, other side quests, where things are like, yep, you're a caricature, all right, moving on. The game has not bought faith necessarily in the attention to detail that some of these side quests have, because the average, I think, is much lower, unfortunately. But I think that if you do take the time to pay attention to this one, then there's a lot more to uncover.
Okay.
Great. Well, anyways, I blew my load early, Jen. So we are here in the Sea of Clouds, and we have to bring an offering to the Vanu Vanu because they will not be amenable to outsiders. But he's heard, though, that they use these Gastornis feathers in their rituals. So if we gather some and make them an offering, they may give us the time of day. The Gastornis are those big, fat, flightless, barfing birds.
They're rainbow dodos.
Yes. And we kill a few, and we grab their feathers, and we bring them to a Vanu healer in Vundu Akbindu. And this healer shoos us off at first, but when we present the feathers, they are willing to hear us out.
So they do... I mean, it's reminiscent of like a haka. She performs like this little, like a little dance and a little, like she recites a little chant, and we present Riel to her, and there's something that she sees that scares her. They basically say like, okay, there is a great spirit that dwells in you. The Tramontane follows you, Netherlings, and she tells us to leave immediately. And we're like, what? And Sid is real mad. He's cursing, like, what the fuck is this vague bullshit? God damn it. But his frustration turns to high alertness because he senses trouble. He's like, oh, we've been followed. We go up, boom, we've been followed by a bunch of Temple Knights. So we kill him. And when we come back to Sid, he's like, I recognize these guys. These guys are the non-Sir Emmerich guys, the fuck you, Sir Emmerich guys. And so they're just a bunch of cowards who came out following Riel all the way out here so they could kill her just beyond the city limits. Man, I really, really did not connect to this story at all. And I'm feeling it. It sucks.
Well, this is very early on to be condemning it.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not condemning it. I'm just saying, like, it just didn't hit
I mean,
me.
like, if you're like, so we got followed by Temple Knights and they suck and that's that, then that's kind of, I think, throwing in the trash way too prematurely, period.
No, it's just like, no, you're right. Anyway,
yeah. So
just shit happens, whatever.
The Temple Knights have followed us here. And this is important, though, because this takes place when Emmerich's still in power. This distinctly takes place before Emmerich was arrested, which is interesting because it feels like we talked about last time. The first step takes place right after the vault or similar. It feels like that is the place it belongs in the MSQ. Mm-hmm. This, though, Emmerich is still like a guy in power. He controls the dominant ideology of the Temple Knights, but there are factions within that might have more extreme views.
Right.
And also the Heaven's Ward, as we know by now, probably also have some extremists in their ranks, if not all of their ranks. The sentiment, though, is that they cannot just like kill Riel in the streets because people will not accept them murdering a girl in broad daylight.
Right.
So they have followed us out here to the Sea of Clouds to do their deed in secret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So exactly. They're the extremists within the ranks. So there's been subterfuge this whole time. We just didn't hear about it until later on.
With us having defended ourselves and having gotten a small glimmer of some information from the Vanu before they fled.
Yeah, so something's up for sure.
We return to the Forgotten Night with our heads hung as we have failed in our mission.
The wind taken out of our sails.
And Sid uses our misadventure here to drive home his grudge against the Temple Knights. And I trust not, hey, let me make an argument saying you have made this conclusion. I'm making it for you.
Right.
You no longer dispute their true nature.
Yeah.
Murderers and thieves who drape themselves in the trappings of righteousness. Do you not see? We are all that stands between them and their prey, we Dark Knights. There is no justice for these monsters save that which we must deliver. I will see them answer for their sins, I swear it. If I have to drown in the abyss to see it done, I will. But Riel, who has probably seen Sid wind himself up dozens of times, forces a change of subject. She turns to us and him and says, Warrior of Light, our name. Sid, she pauses, I wanted to thank you for protecting me earlier and apologize for getting you too hurt. But Sid says, oh no, you did nothing wrong. You got nothing to apologize for.
Well,
and we did learn something. Not what exactly, but there was a great spirit involved, so that's a hint.
So she's already like having to, it's almost like parentification.
Well, exactly, but this is what I'm talking about, though, with regard to the character work, because you can see the legacy of this dynamic unfolding backwards into the past from these two quest steps here. Mm-hmm. From her first statement about, and Sid, pause, he wouldn't hurt me. He does this shit all the fucking time where he's like, the fucking Temple Knight, they fucking suck, I'm going to ruin them. And she has become an expert at diverting his attention away from his same this rant onto something else. And she's like, I'm sorry, let's talk about me for a bit. And he's like, oh, you're great, no problem.
Yeah.
So this is shit. This is an awful dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
The storytelling, the characterization, though, is A+, Jen, because you can just see how these two people are from this very brief time with them.
Brutal.
What?
No, I don't know if I was just like reeling from the manic rush it was to level this, and I'm just like, I'm freaking out on making sure I get all my notes, and so I didn't have the bandwidth to give it that much thought, because I mean, you're correct. All of these things were picked up, but I'm like, it'll come through in the rest of the story.
I think that is the content creator's curse, Jen, which is sometimes you are on a deadline and you may miss the forest for the trees.
Or rather not my... Yeah. I mean, these are all things I noticed. And
I guess in this case, it's the trees for the forest, but whatever.
Thank you.
Anyway, I hear that is fully fair.
But I very much appreciate you, because I mean, again, all these little things, they add up. And
yes.
then they speak to the characters, which I'll say it again, They're not one note, despite how my notes maybe we'll talk
Sure.
about them.
Again, I feel like as we kind of have this debate or whatever you would call it during the course of this retelling, I feel like my kind of conclusions are coming forward more than I wanted them to because I wanted to focus on the story, then talk about the stuff afterwards.
I'll do the story, and you can interject with character discussion.
Sure, but I'm trying to, I guess, avoid the back and forth as we're talking here. But either way, because the voice has been raised, for the record here, I don't like either of these characters in terms of, do I, as a person, want to
hang out with them?
Do I find them to be tolerable to be around? No.
Neither. They're compelling.
But it's not about who I like, Jen. That's not what makes a good story. It is about...
Yeah, you do not have to talk to me about that.
Sure.
At all.
But I feel
we can hate a person, but we be like, God damn,
I feel like
cool,
you're like, Sid fucking sucks. I hate him. Bullshit.
No, it's the reason why is because I know that bro has trauma.
Yes.
And he is bitter. And he is acting out in ways that are completely unproductive. And he's alienating the people around him. He's not being honest with himself. I see all of these things and I'm already like,
sure,
annoyed.
That is all fair, but there is development on this axis. I don't want to blow more of my load right now, Jen.
Yeah. So I thought you were spent.
There's still more in there.
Okay, great.
But you're bringing it out though, Jen. This is why we are rated M or whatever, E for explicit.
E for everyone.
Not in the pod rating world,
kids.
Jen.
Yeah, this podcast is rated E.
There's either explicit or normal for podcasts.
I don't even know if there's a rating system. There's no ESRB for podcasts.
There is, again, explicit or normal.
Oh, okay.
That is not a joke. It's said in a joking fashion, but that is literally what we are, Jen.
Oh, we're definitely rated R.
Or rated E for explicit.
I see. Okay, fine.
If you go to your podcatcher, Jen, you'll see it. This is not a joke.
Do you want normie or do you want explicit?
Exactly. Okay. And you get explicit.
Click explicit, kids.
For us. Anyways, okay.
All right. So
we now know that a great spirit dwells within Riel, if that shaman's to be believed. But we need answers, and we know of none better who can commune with spirits than the conjurers of Gridania.
Sure. Apparently, Frey was dabbling in conjury, and so he was also kind of teaching Riel at some point, and he could see that Riel was picking this up very, very easily. Like, it came completely naturally to her. Like our friend Sylvie, for example. It took him a lot of effort. Like anybody, it would take a lot of effort. But Riel was just like, boom, got it. So maybe they can kind of look at her and be like, oh yeah, you've got the gift, child. So we go to Stillglade Fane, and we walk from Camp Dragonhead to the Observatorium, and this is like an escort mission.
He's doing the math here. How do we keep Riel the most safe? I am going to go ahead. I'm going to take on the most dangerous job. You and Riel will follow behind me.
And we have been given the responsibility of escorting Riel between Camp Dragonhead and the Observatorium. Yeah. And it's kind of spicy. We're not that it was hard to fight these guys, but we are being pursued relentlessly.
This is a solo duty, and they milk those 20 feet between Camp Dragonhead and the Observatorium for all they're worth.
I think we got 3 or 4 groups.
Not only that, but so we begin the duty, and the weather changes. It's like a forced weather change to blizzard. You can't see more than 20 feet around you. It makes the space look bigger because you can't see where you're going.
Right.
And then you head down the path with just you and Riel, who has gained the title the Voiceless here. She's carrying a conjurer's little branchy wand.
Yeah, the little one-hander.
And we walk down the path, and out of the fog behind us appear these chocobo-mounted temple knights.
Which is a weird thing to see.
Yes, actually. It's good. I wish they fought while mounted. I'm sure there's no animation for that, which is why they had to dismount, have the chocobos disappear into the ether. But that said, though, the first time they appear, it is menacing because you see these silhouettes in the blizzard, and then they race down upon you.
Yeah, it's a silhouette you've never seen before.
Yes, and it's not hard, but it is evocative. And this is, like I said, for the part 1 finale, this is like an interactive cutscene. They're milking this thing for all it's worth, for atmospheres.
Yeah.
Even though there's no real challenge to it, it feels oppressive doing this task.
Yeah, they're on you. These people will follow you to the ends of time. And so you feel that every time you're moving about in these quests that you're being watched.
We reach the observatorium, and Sid is there, and he's cursing himself for his judgment call of leaving us alone.
Oh, he's cursing? How unique.
He would
Sorry.
have. He should have known there was strike when we were apart.
Well, I mean, he kind of did. Like you said, this is the best situation we got. This is it, and this is he accommodated for that, and we nailed it.
As long as we're in Ishgardian territory, they will hound us endlessly, so we must press on to at least the 12's Wood before we're safe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we do so. And after we leave Kurthis, the rest of the trip is uneventful. We go ahead to Isumiyan, the Pajal at the head of the Conjurers Guild.
He's like, hello. Hey, Otis, welcome back. Are you here to continue your studies? And alas, no, brother Isumi. We are here with our friends, Sid and Ariel. And Sid's like, whose kid is this?
I love this.
I know. And Isumiyan is like, yes, I am the master of the Conjurers Guild, and I don't look like it, but I am many, many times your age.
Young man,
yeah. And Sid's like, oh. First meeting with Bajal, so that's fun.
So he begins his, conjurer Pajal shit. Pray come closer, Riel, and take your ease.
I love Isumiyan.
I ask that you close your eyes and listen to my words. Breathe deep. Feel the myriad life around you. Be as one with the world. After a brief pause, Sid presses, well.
Settle down. Okay. So after a moment, Isumiyan confirms that what the Vanu healer saw was accurate to a degree. There is great innate power within Riel, akin to that of the elementals, the Dravanians. And then he asks if any of us have heard the tale of the boy and the dragon gay.
After a pause, and there are ellipses in the text, Sid admits, no. Hardly surprising, says Isumi. It is a heretical tale, and with good cause, for it is a corruption of an older legend in which a man partakes of dragon blood and in doing so becomes one himself. Rumor has it that heretics hold such rituals for this very purpose, and if there is truth to such tales, perchance she has ingested the blood of an ancient dragon? And Sid reacts violently to this. What? She's not some half-crazed lunatic. Isumi says serenely, I make no accusations, only offer a possible explanation. And Sid is still stammering like his protestations against this narrative that's being woven here. But Riel jumps in again. She has like the magic touch to calm down Sid's anger here, because when it comes to Riel, he like softens immediately. Isumi says, pray forgive me. I did not mean to cause you distress. After this long journey, Riel, just Riel, he says, we know what he means, could use a respite in the Carline canopy. An eel pie can do wonders for the soul. And Sid is so mad here, so he pauses and gives a begrudging, we thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
And
so
this storms off. Yes, like I'm not going to be rude, but this is all bullshit.
Thank you for your time. Yeah. You're talking nonsense, brother.
And in the Carline canopy, Sid rants now to no one in particular, while Riel dutifully munches on an apple.
Chilling with her apple.
Fairy tales and fantasies, this is what he has to offer. Heretics, I understand, but I expected the head of the bloody Conjurers Guild to be better. And you, he turns to her, why didn't you speak up for yourself? She just munches her apple.
Yeah.
And now he presses, not getting a response, Riel. And she now stops eating and gives a strange account. There were no windows, just walls of stone with little cracks to tempt your fingers, and iron bars colder than ice. I couldn't tell when it was raining, whether it was day or night. She didn't say I drank blood. All she said was, it's better this way. And the two adults pause a little shocked here, and she muses, at least if they catch me, they'll just kill me this time. And as we remain in stunned silence, she asks, can I finish my apple? Go ahead, says Sid. and both sit in familiar but uncomfortable silence for a while, until Sid breaks it. It's not a sin if someone made you do it. Riel, I didn't. I won't let them hurt you. I know. You want another one? No, thank you. Right then. Sid now goes to get some fresh air. And Jen, I love this scene so much. This is such a tired but familiar dynamic where they both settle into their kind of rhythm here, like after a fight, where
Right.
Sid knows he's gone too far and he's like showing care now. And Riel is like grudgingly accepting it. Again, it's toxic AF, but also it is just so well observed in this moment, this unfolding kind of wind down from the earlier anger.
Yep.
After everyone's had a break, we return to Ishgard safely. Sid thanks us for all that we've done to aid them. As recompense, he can only offer us some more Dark Knight skills, which we are happy to take.
If, as the Pajal said, Riel might have an affinity with the Dravanians, then who better to determine that than a Dravanian? And Sid is in luck, because we know a few. So we head to Annex Shrine, and we see our old friend Vidofnir, and we ask her for her help, and it kind of goes like with the Vanu, we're like, I don't know you, I need you to do something to basically vet yourselves. So to vet the newcomers, she asks for a bunch of grown alm flowers. So Sid and Riel go north, we go south to look for these flowers, and we grab a bunch and bring them back to Vidofnir.
Gran Alm is a flower whose name roughly translates to calming tree.
Oh, yeah, that was in the tooltip.
Yes.
Yeah. Flavor text. So we hold them to her, and she breathes deeply of their essence, saying, "That which passeth into death liveth on in memory." And she says a dragon lies in Morn, preparing for her own journey, and we should deliver the flowers to her. She may have some insight for us. So we find the dying dragon inside Morn, and Sid arrives with Riel, and the dragon beckons to Riel, like, come forward, child. And there within Riel's blood dwells the essence of her beloved, the dying dragon's beloved. But, she continues, Riel did not drink the blood herself, for if she had, she would have been overcome. It was her progenitors who had partaken of the blood. So, her parents, one or both, I don't know. So, this is what the Temple Knights knew. And this is why they will chase her forever. And Sid is kind of trying to reconcile this new information with the fact that, I mean, this is bad news. This is like the worst news, actually. And he tells himself, like, if we could just harness the abyss. And he's, kind of going on and on about, like, the abyss and, like, how, if only he could just do this, if he'd only just figure that out, then he could do all the things that he wants to do. But Riel turns to the dragon and she says goodbye and, thank you, and letting Sid have his moment. And we return to Ishgard. So now we're back in the Forgotten Night, and Sid is still, he's refusing, even with this new knowledge, he refuses to alter course. He's committed to protecting Riel, regardless of her tainted blood and the implications of that. And then a voice. So these are the knights who would defy the will of Haloni? And she's found us, cries Riel. And in walks a woman of the clergy, standing there in all of her garb oozing with dogmatic righteousness. The woman, Istrid de Collignant, promises eternal damnation if Sidergu and Riel don't surrender themselves. Do they believe that they can face Halone and justify the killing of so many in defense of that abomination? Absolutely, Sid says. Is it the will of Halone to punish a child for the deeds of her parents? Yes, Istrid confirms. It is. And if we won't see reason, then she makes a final offer to save our souls. Trial by combat. Survive, you can go free. You fail, and it is mine. It being Riel. This is horrifying. Otherwise, if we don't agree to trial by combat, she will torch the Forgotten Knight to the ground and take the heads of every man, woman, and child within it. So, Cid agrees. And the woman turns to leave, but Riel calls after her. Mother, wait! Ah, fuck. So Istrid stops without even looking back, saying, I should have had them cut out your tongue. Yeah, so, again, more information.
Not just for us, though. For Cid, yes.
Cid didn't know this was a mother problem. He's like, what is going on? He kind of unleashes on Riel. He can't believe that all of this... Again, he's been her guardian for, I want to say, years. Probably at this point. He never knew this. She never told him. They've been, laboring under this misapprehension this whole time. And he's like, I can't believe this is all your mother's doing. And Riel is just kind of bowled over at his reaction. And she says, she told them to take me. She said I wasn't hers, that I was, and she trails off. And he is continuing. He bled for her. Frey died for her. And Riel begins to cry. This is fucked. And Cid's like, I need some time to myself. Leave me alone, everybody. Doing that classic Cid crap that he does. But at least he excuses himself from the situation. But man, that was really unfair to Riel, considering she has to deal with her mother calling her it to her face.
And we come back to the Forgotten Knight, and Cid's like, it took considerable effort, but I have learned the whole truth. And I feel like he had to pry this from, on Cid's part, and Riel having this probably pride from her, this traumatic history.
Yeah. But also, it couldn't have been fun.
No.
Talking to Cid about this.
No. We know that for a fact. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what he's darn tootin'. So what Cid has learned is that the Riel's family, the Colignants, it's like cauliflower but with gnans at the end. They are and have been a deeply devoted family to the church throughout their history.
Weird.
Right? Some of them have reached positions of prominence, including Riel's mother. Well, at one point, she was on the cusp. Riel was the firstborn to her parents, and everything was going great until one day the Inquisitors came. They said someone, during the course of an interrogation, had fingered her father as a heretic. And her father was like, hell yeah, I am. Grabbed a vial of dragon's blood, drank it, transformed, and attempted to kill her mother. But before he could kill her mother, he was killed by the Temple Knights in the room. So after that, her mother banished Riel to the deepest, dankest cell she could find, and then also had to do all sorts of gymnastics to cover up for her husband's heresy and to distance herself from both her daughter and her husband and still try to maintain a life of holiness. So that's Istrid's bullshit. So Cid, of course, he is still mad, but he's mad at Istrid. How can a mother do this to her child? And the need, in his mind, to harness the abyss and bring it to bear against these assholes at the trial is greater than ever. And he remembered something the dying dragon said about, quote-unquote, tiny beings that knew better than he did about the dark arts. He has no idea who these tiny beings are that she's talking about. Oh, we do.
Yep.
Oh,
Moogles.
Boy, do we. Yes.
So we head now to the Psalm All Aetheryte and find one such being loitering outside. This is Moggy.
Moggy.
Well, if it isn't one of the new visitors from below, are you searching for something? If so, just ask. I pride myself on being the second most well-informed Moogle here, Kupo. We tell Moggy about what's going on, and apparently we are feeling some job identity woes in our recap, as Moggy first responds with, "My, that's a rather grim way of living, isn't it? I can't say I've ever heard of knights so infatuated with darkness, but the Moogles can probably help our friend." So we grab Sid and Riel and return, and they welcome us back. And Sid just starts off with prodding Riel into doing the thing with the Moogle so he can move on with his life.
Yeah, say hello to the Moogle. Riel, say something. Oh my god. And the more he's prodding her, she's just...
Yeah, she is like...
She's struggling.
Sure, I think
she's ready to just I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, it's been a breaking point, and this has been going on for ages. We've seen the same dynamic beforehand in the Cardline Canopy, for instance, where Sid just pokes her until he gets a reaction from her.
Yeah.
And here she has reached a breaking point. She just mutters, there's an ellipsis, and she says, "I'm sick of this charade. You tell me to talk, but then you refuse to listen. You tell me that you're doing this for me, but then you go on about the darkness and the abyss. Am I supposed to be grateful when you come back covered in blood? When I put you back together so you can do it again? You drag me halfway across the world so you can discover a new way to kill yourself, and you tell me it's for my sake? Why are we here, Sidurgu? Tell me the real reason." He is now taken aback by her being so direct with him, and he doesn't know how to react here. He stammers, "Of course it's for your sake." "Well, you've certainly had a lot of practice saying it, haven't you? I'm sure the next fair maiden will appreciate it."
Yeah, girl. I was like, yes, let's go. Get after it.
And he's like, "No, it's not like that, Riel." And now he turns to us, our character. He's like, "Say something, damn it." What? I don't know, but
yeah.
Right. This is you two, but...
Not my circus, not my clowns.
Moggy diffuses things for us, thankfully. I'm beginning to understand this whole darkness concept, Kupo.
I love that Moggy's like, okay, I'm getting it. I'm figuring it out.
Harnessing the power of your emotions or some such, yes? I'm reminded of an ancient legend about a Moogle named Mog. Rather simple name, I know, but those were simpler times, Kupo.
Moggy says.
Yeah, Jen, Moggy, not Mog. Anyway, Mog had a penchant for dancing a penchant for dancing, and this is such a non sequitur that Sid is distracted from being torn down by Riel.
Yeah, he's like, what?
Dancing?
Dancing? What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Everything,
and
Kupo.
Moggy's like, everything!
Everything, Kupo.
Kupo!
Thank you. The point is, your master was absolutely right when he told you to submit to the flame. You just never figured out what was meant by it. Master Moggy, though, will show you the way. First, you two Dark Knights will need to pull 4 sprigs of palmwort each. Hop to it, Kupo.
Without flight, this would be like the most annoying shit.
Yes.
The most annoying shit.
Yes. Once again, we are put to chores, and Sid has been doing, kill 5 Castornis, pick 3 flowers, whatever. Now it's pull 4 palmworts. And he's just like, okay, I'm just going to suck it up again. This, I think, to him is no different than whenever we have to go see a conjurer or a Vanu Vanu, because it's one more fucking chore before he can get his dark art. Correct. Yeah. Whatever.
The last unlock.
Yeah,
to achieve a business.
I think that they're the same to him, ultimately, some kind of task between him and the flame.
Right.
So when we find him, we can see him on the slopes while we're picking the palmwort, Jen. And if we talk to him, he is muttering to himself, "Strength is pain. Strength is suffering. Strength is sacrifice."
Oh, man. Oh, this guy.
We return, and the Moogles, this is very familiar. We just did this with the first time here. The Moogles are stalling us while they do some scheme.
Some bullshit.
So they're like, okay, you got the palmwort, go and kill some Tulahans, Kupo.
Yeah, they're hanging out on the road over there and causing all sorts of ruckus.
And
just go deal with that.
Don't you worry about Riel. We're having a great time playing.
Yeah, so we're having a tea party.
We'll see you at Asa, which is the way station on the way to Zenith. But We kill the guys, and when we arrive in Asa, we learn we've been betrayed.
Well, Sid and I are like, we're chilling. I'm like, okay, so what's going on? And then 2 Moogles show up and they go, "Foolish fools!" It's just so fucking adorable. Well, we hear them call us foolish fools first, and then we look out and we've got two little Moogles, and they got like a little sword and a little helmet, and they're like, "Wahahaha! We've kidnapped Riel! You'll never see her again!" And now Sid is even more pissed. He's like, "Unhand her!" And so now we fight.
They goad him endlessly, saying again, "You'll never find her, not in a million years."
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "Give her back now, or I swear I will kill every last one of you and burn your village to cinders." Sound familiar, Jin? Frey.txt.
Oh, right. Yeah, 100%.
One of the Moogles says to Sid, "Why do you want her back so badly? Why do you want Riel back so badly?" Because you kidnapped her. Which is
not the answer,
like
we
a logistical equation.
Yeah. Well, because you kidnapped her, and it logically follows that I would.
But you don't seem to like having her around, so why not just let her go? She's a burden to you. He's like, I swore an oath to protect her. That's what we Dark Knights do.
Also not what we wanted.
Sid, we now get his title because we're entering a solo duty, Jen. His title is Sidurgu of the Obsidian Heart. He says, "I'm going to rip that palm off your head and shove it down your goddamn throat." And if you were not canny to what's going on, this is the tip-off, because one of the Moogles like, "This is a bit more than I bargained for."
Right, yeah. Those little pop-up texts, they go by so quickly.
And they all appear in your text log, Jen.
Yes, they do. Yeah, so I saw one of these after the fact. I mean, I already knew like what the score was. But at the end, I saw like one of them was going like, "I hope this is worth it."
We now have like a mini Good King Moggle Mog.
Right.
And we get wave upon wave of different job kupos.
Yeah. So we got the white mage coming out. We got the black mage coming out. Just like that fight.
And whenever we beat one down, they're like, "This is not quite what I bargained for." Or like, "Too rough." Like, this is for fun.
Ouchies.
So we beat them all down. And I love this cutscene, Jen, afterwards. They're lying on the ground, and they're like, "Okay, this is a bit rough."
You really got us, yeah.
Sid's like, "Give her back," and they all get up and huddle. And one of the Moogles, I think the white mage Moogle, he like counts the Moogles in the huddle, and he's like, "One's missing." And he looks over and sees the rogue on the ground napping,
snoring on the ground.
And they have this whole, while we were doing our bullshit fetch quest routine, they were practicing this choreography. And so they all disperse into like their formation, and the white mage drags sleeping Moogle into his position in the formation.
Well, he's asleep.
Yep. And he's like in the air
like
sleeping.
He like kind of straightens his tie or, whatever kind of motion. Like, all right. And a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. And they start a little song and dance number.
Jen, can you sing this for us?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I had a feeling you were going to ask me. Like, there's no way.
We'll get to it.
Because there's no melody, there's no
beat,
Jen. There's no way.
It's in your heart.
Oh my God. I didn't write down the lyric.
Why do you do this to me, Jen?
You sing it.
I will not, because I don't have a singing voice, Jen. I got a saying voice.
A saying voice?
Yeah. They break into song to instruct us in the true musical fashion, as interpreted by Jin.
Oh, no. Whence comes true strength to defend the meek? Is it honor? Is it justice? How bland? Could it be that darkness is born of a light, a flame burning for another? How grand! 'Tis love, all powerful, shining love. Do, 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 do.
Excellent, Jen. All is forgiven. Behind
on Spotify.
Yes, actually. Behind us now, Moggy says, "Rather blunt, I'll admit, but subtlety doesn't seem to be your strong suit."
Burn.
Kupo. We turn around and we see Riel by Moggy. She's fine, obviously.
Right, yeah. She's having a great time.
Moggy's like, "Okay, Riel, say your piece."
Here you go. Here's a platform. Also, Moggy asks Sid, like, "So you think an oath is enough?" So anyway, yeah, love is the answer. Okay, so Riel launches into some more stuff. Okay, so she says, "I know you and Frey were trying to do right by your master, that you came to my defense because you believed that's what he would have wanted. And I know you only did that because you believed it would make you stronger. Because all you truly care about is killing more temple knights. I've seen how you look at them, how you curse them under your breath, how you relish every opportunity to cut them down. So don't tell me that it's all been for me. Don't tell me that Frey died for me. Finally, Cid is forced to be honest with himself and about his motivations. Everything he's done has been mostly about himself. He says this, and he apologizes. And he will stand for her at the trial. But what happens afterward will be 100% Riel's decision. And she's like, okay, bet. That really kind of cleared up a lot of air between them. So with that done, Cid, again, he spits on the Moogle's message about love.
This is so funny because he's like, that was all
gross.
bullshit. You know, like, what is it, love shit?
Love? That's so stupid. No. Another waste of time. I'm getting major Istidian vibes here.
Yeah.
This is another waste of time. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go kill something. So we return to the Forgotten Knight, and Cid tells us a little bit about his background. He came to Ishgard as a kid, about the same age as Riel is. And after, so he talked before about how the Temple Knights, they were fighting the Al-Ra, his family and such, and it got to a point where they finally had the upper hand and they decided to let the Temple Knights go. Then they returned and slaughtered everybody. So when the Temple Knights returned to his home, the mercy, as they branded it, was letting him and his parents choose the order of their executions. And his parents went first. And when it was his turn, he bowed his head and nothing happened. And he looked up, and there was a man in black with an outstretched hand in front of him. Master. So his master preached defending the meek, punishing the wicked. But, perhaps Cid only played the part so he could indulge in vengeance. And he's realizing this now. Like, he used it as an excuse. Like, he wanted, just like Estinian, like, he's been exercising something not in service to his Dark Knight pursuits. They're a little bit related, sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, the looming trial will be his chance to serve as the Dark Knight his master would have wanted.
So we're about to begin, but if we talk to Riel Jin between quest steps, she's also like Cid, where she's going, those Moogles were bullshit. Sure, I appreciate them trying, but they had no idea what they're singing about, right? Seriously, love? So they're both like, nah.
No, that's silly. I mean, to be fair, the presentation, they're like, okay, they're following up this pantomime with a song and dance number. Nobody can take this seriously.
Yep.
It's not the message, it's the delivery.
I think it's the message too, Jen.
Well, right.
I think that even said straight, this would not resonate with them because they...
Right. It's not on their radar at all. They're expecting something a little bit, I don't know, cooler than love.
Yeah.
What is this, a rom-com?
Cutting yourself or something. That's for you. Harness the abyss.
You drink your own blood.
Yeah.
And the Moogles have a song about that, and they're going to be like, yeah, I can vibe with that. Drinking my blood, sure.
Sure.
I'm surprised I didn't think of it until now.
So the missive from Count Istrid arrived.
Countess. Whatever.
Excuse me. Yes, Countess.
Yeah.
And we're to meet her in the Western Highlands away from prying eyes. Unlike what has been pitched to us, we're not having a actual trial by combat.
Oh, not in the tribunal.
We are having a dirty...
A back alley...
back wasteland fight.
Right.
This shit she wants far away from the powers that be. Nothing can risk her dark secret coming to light.
Yeah.
We're going to meet her out in the Kurthus Western Highlands, and there we will have our trial by combat in quotes. We have our final back and forth, and Cid's like, all right, if I die here, then keep Riel safe. We talk to Riel, and she's like, I'm glad that you were here, and I'm glad for the time that we shared, all of us, you, Cid, Frey.
Mm-hmm.
This has still meant a lot to me, despite all the bullshit. And we're going to see this through together.
Together.
And we now head to Twin Pools, out in the far northwest corner of the Western Highlands.
What a trek. Man, I'd love it if you're right out there.
Right? It does help it feel more remote, I will admit, but it's not worth the squeeze, Jen.
I'm like, okay, 8 minutes later,
What
flying out to
I
this
do, Jen,
spot.
actually, is I will take the Chocobo Porter to the convictory and just like go do something during the flight.
Oh, that's, yeah.
And then I will have like a 1 minute flight, not like a 3 minute flight.
Yeah, it's like sitting in a self-driving car.
Exactly. So we're out there, and it turns out this trial by combat is more of a farce than before because this is just an ambush. Mom wanted us out of the city, and now she's going to just like fuck us up.
Istrid, she's just sending dudes upon dudes.
We're not there quite yet. We see Mom in the wasteland, and Jen, I wish this cutscene were voiced because it demands voice work. The emotes are all there, like everything is sold so well. You can hear the voice in your head, but I wish there were a voice to go on screen because silence echoes loudly compared to the dynamism on screen.
Ooh.
Great. Jen got touched by my poetry. We approach Istrid outside, and she has just a few knights by her at first, so it seems like we're on the level. She regards Riel for a moment. You have his eyes, his nose, his lips. Every time I look at you, I see more and more of him. It sickens me. But Sid objects. Riel is not her father. You had no right to punish her for what he did. But Istrid says she had every right. I bore that monster into the world, and by the Fury I shall send it to the seventh hell. And we fight. And a swarm of knights emerges from the nearby terrain to assault us. They're going all out here to put us down. And this instance area is huge also. There's like a few hundred feet easily between us and Mom over there.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to cross the distance here while defending Riel. So she's doing her conjurer shit, and she is not super tanky, but you have Sid, of course, and ourselves. And the main objective here is to grab aggro from the Temple Knights before they get to Riel.
Right.
If you have your stance on and are liberal with your AoEs to grab that aggro, you'll be fine.
Easy peasy.
But they are beelining for her hard, and this is not really a good fight mechanically speaking, but it does kind of underline a tank role, which is, of course, grabbing the aggro.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a single test, and if you pass it, you're great. That's the fight, grabbing aggro.
Basically, yeah.
Otherwise, you're fine. And once we get past the Temple Knights and to Mom, she goes down very quickly. She's not tough whatsoever.
Right.
We get Mom to 0 HP, and then we get the cutscene. And I say that because she is not down when the cutscene begins. She is brandishing her staff. She's a conjurer also.
Yeah, she's got her eyeballs directly on Riel, and she is like, get the fuck out of my way, Sid, so I can deal with this.
And she's like, why do you care so much about what happens to it? This sounds familiar. I got asked the same question by some Mughals not too long ago.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you're not the first to ask me that question.
Once he says, you might have understood, and this is his awakening here. For everything that you have done, you are still her mother. Go, you shall not meet again. He does not want to kill Riel's mom in front of her. This is huge,
you
Jen.
Said.
I know, but this is the arc, Jen, because he is not going to kill this kid's mom in front of her. This is his trauma, right?
Because remember when he was talking about how the Temple Knights came back to his village and slaughtered everybody, and his parents were executed in front of him, and they told him, don't look. But he did anyway. So he watched his parents get executed in front of him. So, right. Despite this woman being irredeemable, he can't do it. And
well, I'd say not that he can't. He chooses not to. He has now been brought by this Mughal song and dance, literally.
He's
that Riel's a person.
Yeah. And also now, hey, how about some empathy, bro?
He has been acting, despite his righteousness, out of his own desire for vengeance. So it's two things unlocked here. It's not just, hey, care about Riel as like a person versus as like a means to an end. It's also, when you do this shit, this is for you, even though it's done in the name of a noble cause. And he has grasped that in the intervening time between now and then. He says no to Mal, no to Istrid, just go. But she says, I will not. I will follow you to the ends of the world if I must, so long as it lives, I must. And now she gets manic, and this is what I'm talking about for like the lack of voice acting here, because the camera kind of swoops upwards and her eyes get bulgy and she screams to the heavens.
Yeah.
Don't you see, you fool? The Fury wills it.
Wills it! Like, she has lost her goddamn mind. Like I said, irredeemable. This woman is done. This was amazing. So finally, all of the time that Cid and Riel spent together. So we have Astrid, who has confessed to following her daughter forever and ever and ever. And this her face twists into this grimace and her eyes are bulging out of her skull and she has lost her damn mind. And Cid is still standing there. And so this was my favorite part, because all of the time that Cid and Riel have spent together over the years, they have a kind of nonverbal communication has evolved between the two of them.
It's gotta.
Right. And,
that was a joke.
For better... So far we've seen how their codependence, their interplay, their communication is basically there just to keep the other from falling into despair or, whatever it is. These are, they were coping mechanisms. They were toxic strategies employed in moments of like heightened emotions and etc. However, this right here was an example of how it actually worked perfectly. So Riel walks up calmly as her mom is laughing maniacally into the sky. And she says, "How great your love for her. Far greater than any love you ever bore me. And for a long time, I prayed for forgiveness."
Her being the Fury.
Right. Capital H, her. "I prayed you would take me in your arms and hold me as you did before. But I know that shall never come to pass." And as she says this last part, she's looking at Cid directly. And he looks at her and the understanding is clear. And she continues, "I will pray for you, mother." And as Riel recites a prayer, similar to, "And yea, though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil." So she's reciting this, and Cid raises his sword.
For the record, Jen, the prayer is, I think it's good writing. It's worth saying.
It is, yeah.
So, "O Helone, receive of us this woman, your humble servant, raise her up to your bosom, and grant her glory everlasting."
So imagine as she's reciting this, Cid lifts his sword and with one final blow, puts Istrid out of her misery.
It's a beheading right there.
Yeah. It doesn't show graphically, but that's what it is.
Yes, that's this game, but yep.
Yeah. Pretty fucking metal, honestly.
Yes.
Like the daughter, young, saying, "Mother, I'll pray for you." And as she's in the middle of reciting this thing, Cid's like, "Chop."
How's that for some emancipation?
Woo! Nice.
There's a great shot where you have Istrid trying to get at Riel, but Cid standing between them. I'm not a filmographer whatsoever, so apologies for the terrible language, but it's like I said,
right? Yeah,
yes.
I ain't one of them.
I ain't one of them things. But we see a profile shot essentially with all of them in the same frame, and Cid hefts his giant Dark Knight blade by the hilt with one hand and points it at Istrid, and the whole scene is kind of bookended by the two with the sword full profile,
right? Yeah, like extended right with the blade. The tip just ilms from her face.
Yes.
Oh, it was really. I almost took a screenshot. It was pretty sweet.
Yep. Cid's like, "What now?" And Riel says,
"Literally. Well, now what?
We go back to Ishgard together.
I still want to hang out with you."
So back at the Forgotten Night for the final time with us in this family of sorts. It's like, yeah, I get it now. The moment I tried to stop chasing down this answer to this riddle, there it was. All of that anger and rage. Within that was born of a desire to protect that which we hold most dear. And Riel's like, "So you're still committed then to your path, to the Dark Knight's path?" Cid says, "Yes, but if you will have me."
Aww.
And Riel says, "Okay, but you will have to talk to me more."
Yeah, no more of this silent brooding shit.
And listen, I can't stand the silence, There's no shame in sharing the weight, Cid. We can bear it together.
And then he's all like, fine.
Yep.
And then she just laughs because Sid gonna be Sid.
The two of us will manage on our own, Warrior of Light.
Okay, bye.
Yeah,
Have fun.
right.
Good. It was great. It was great.
We're like, okay,
later.
thank
Okay,
you. Let
woo.
me out of here.
I'm glad I'm in a tavern right now.
We could leave Ishgard, sure, but that means we leave the people at the mercy of the powers that be. I cannot do that, and I don't think that Riel can either.
So they're gonna...
We all need a cause. What will yours be, Warrior of Light?
For whom do you fight?
And what is your answer, Jin?
I said my friends.
I chose for Eorzea.
For Eorzea! Eorzea is my friend.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There's also the for myself option, which I think is like lesson not learned
Correct.
whatsoever.
Like, all right, I guess we'll deal with that in 60 through 70.
Right. But no.
I was, like Tar, she would be a for Eorzea person. Otis, I think, is more of a for my friends kind of a person.
Sure. Sid bids us goodbye with a to walk the path is to suffer, to sacrifice. Justice demands no less. But we must never lose sight of why we choose to walk it. Gods help me, those Mughals were onto something, weren't they? The end.
Loved that. I did write that down. Yeah, so I mean, if you bookend that last thing, so like all that anger, all that rage was born of a fervent desire to protect that which we hold most dear. Gods help me, those Mughals were onto something, weren't they?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Got him.
Love, 'tis love, all powerful, shining love.
Jen, this second leg of the Dark Knight quest is wildly different than the first.
Good Lord, is it?
And I know you hated it. I think you came around a bit during my talking
I didn't
through
hate
it.
It just didn't.
I know that you disliked it on the cuff. Hopefully my
This is
discussion...
not Weaver. This wasn't Weaver. Okay? That I hate it.
Hoping that our discussion helped to bring some of the qualities forth to you. But either way, though, if I were to pick a favorite, despite my gushing here, I still like 30 to 50 more, but this one is very good for its own reasons for me. The main thing that stands out to me is not just the character writing and the character work, but the fact that the characters come to life in such a short time period. Because by level 52, you can see the history of these characters. And the key here, and I was comparing this to the Dragoon questline, Jen.
I was just going to say that.
In Dragoon, you meet the protagonist of that questline, Hustian, and
for quests and quests and quests and quests, we do not connect with her at all.
Yeah, but
there's no... Go ahead.
It escalates, though, at level 52. Then it's like, you got to care about her, and you're going to go and save her from herself, or save her from this fate. And we're, as players, we're like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, we're the Sids in this. We're going to play along, and hopefully the feels will get to me at some point.
In Dark Knight, level 50 to 52, you see these two characters and see their dynamic and see them as people, at least you being me. I'm not going to try and prescribe everyone to this viewpoint.
And I said that about Hustian. I was like, we don't ever see her as like a person.
Yeah.
Remember, I was like, what if we like went to a tavern and she was like, let me tell you about my childhood. And
but
got all
not,
like,
That's not the key, though, because my thesis here is that it is the implications left unsaid that bring these two to life here. Mm-hmm. They're not saying, hello, I am Hustian. This is my father.
Right.
Father says, this is my daughter.
Trauma.
Please take care of her now.
Like, okay, but why? I mean, she seems nice.
Yeah, right. But there is so much left unsaid but alluded to in these short two first steps, and that lets your imagination run backwards and forwards with these people. And that does far more than any words on paper or on screen could ever do.
Oh, 100%. The writing here is totally different.
Yeah, exactly. And that is, I believe, the secret to this and to these characters. It lets you fill in the blanks with your own personal trauma, your own experiences, whatever, and project onto them, which lets them, that lets you round out the gaps that cannot be filled logistically within this short time period. Whereas the whole like, hello, I am Hustian, let's sit in a tavern. And yep, when I was a child, I was sad because I lost my mom to a dragon or whatever.
I mean, for the Hustian example, I was just like, give me some inkling of depth there. Like she's Anyway, we talked about it then.
Yeah, that's the point, though, is that the economy, though, of language cannot put it all in front of you.
But, I mean, only going by writing shit down on paper is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Right, yeah. So, but I was about to be like, but they did it here. So, but what they did here was they established these people and made them fucking compelling in one quest step.
Yes.
Whereas in previous quest runs, we've had complaints where we're like, we know that we've been with these people this whole time, and we don't know anything about them. We don't care. Mm-hmm.
And I'm picking on her mainly because beyond like the time scale of the characters developing before the inflection points happen in those quest lines, this also has similar overlapping elements with the whole dragon blood thing too.
Right.
But it unfolds entirely differently, not just in terms of logistics, but also in terms of the emotional beats of the story, or lack thereof, as the case may be. So anyway, all that is to say, again, like I said, I blew my load beforehand, but I am impressed primarily by the character work in this quest line more than anything else. The story, fun for sure. I love the ending. I love that they had laid the track for that ending. Like, how the fuck do you thread that needle where mom is like the worst person ever and like she's got to go? But without all that work done to date, they could not pull off that finale.
Mm-hmm.
But the bummer, I think, for me about this quest is that it interacts awkwardly with the MSQ, in that the Dragon Blood plot in this and the Dragon Blood plot in the MSQ do not really mesh well together. When the story beat drops about Riel being tainted by Dragon Blood and so on, it's like, yeah, we know. You're all tainted.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Why are you different?
Each and every one of y'all.
I think that the
highborn, lowborn.
Emotional beats of her mother condemning her for being related to a heretic are far more resonant than the Dragon Blood plot. It's her mom just projecting her grudge upon Riel with no evidence whatsoever. That is what's more compelling, but I feel like the Dragon Blood thing was given too much weight for how we learn about that and the pacing of the main story quest. Because we learned about the blood when we talked to Hraesvelgr. Like, that was like the official, oh shit, we're all tainted. We're all dragons.
Yeah.
And that happened before, level-wise, the plot beat in the Dark Knight quest, where we learn about Riel's blood curse.
Yeah, womp womp.
So I guess it feels weird. It's like, yes, we know. So what?
Yeah. No, you're right that the mom rejecting her daughter because of the sins of her father. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter, like, you know, it could have been like abandonment or whatever it was, but that's something that happens all the fucking time.
Yes.
It's a very classic.
I think that's the more compelling thing. Despite it being classic, sure. I think it's still interesting ground narratively, especially the way it's kind of driven up here with her mom being so manic. And also, it's not the first time it's been done, but her being like the biggest zealot when she is like closest to the sin.
I think it was just really kind of twisting the knife with regards to the level of heresy. Dad's a heretic, but he also drank the blood, and the blood is, you know, just really kind of hammering it in.
Exactly. And our character's been telling people, yep, you got dragon blood. Yep, Hilda, you got dragon blood. You know, we've been spreading the word around. But here we are silent. In this quest line, we're not like, yep, I got bad news for you, Sid and Riel.
Oh, yeah.
All Ishgardians got blood in you.
You guys missed the memo?
Obviously, Sid's not Ishgardian, but I've got bad news for you, foster dad. Your foster daughter's got dragon blood in her because
everybody
all of them
does.
do.
Mm-hmm.
But we keep our silence there because it just is not kind of factored into this quest line. And that is where the biggest clang happens in terms of cohesion. It's the MSQ and job quest blood element. In conclusion. Well, Jen, anyways, that's all I got.
Jesus Christ. Okay. That was one for the books for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jen, I hope that you enjoyed this more so in retrospect maybe than during it, I hope.
I've also, again, doing this for the first time, so uncovering all of this stuff anew, and there are certainly elements there. I wish, I guess, I had more time to, like, I didn't have to do all of these, run through literally all of these in like a day, because that's a lot. And so in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't have the luxury of really getting in there and getting up to my elbows with subtlety. And like,
sure.
So I'm just like, I'm hitting the points. I'm like, okay, we talked to this guy, whatever. And so it's just, I don't know. I don't think that was the reason why it didn't grab me as deeply as you know, the fact that I had to kind of do it very quickly or, you know, kind of all at once or whatever. Or this is like, you know, day 4 of just absolutely manic leveling and hoping to get it done in time.
Great.
But I don't think that's not. I'm not saying that's not. I'm not saying that's why. For whatever reason, the story didn't grab me. I don't think that was it. I honestly didn't think. I don't think I had the same level of like connection to what these characters were going through as you did.
Well, that's the thing is I don't feel connection. That is not the word I would use whatsoever.
You know what I mean, though.
I would call it appreciation.
That's yes.
Great. Okay.
Not that you have like some kind of kinship with these characters.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's wrap it up, Jen. Next time we are back with the MSQ. Also, a couple of notes here because of the way this month is going as far as the Patreon goes for those Patreon lovers. So this month, we will have another of Jen's misadventures in the Final Fantasy VI world. And also this month, we will be doing a very detailed discussion on the Monster Hunter crossovers, plural, because that shit's hot right now, and we're going to hit it.
Yeah, I want to hit that.
Yeah, going to hit that.
I'd hit that.
And then, of course, we'll have All Saints Wake coming up. Numbers 2 and 3, those will be going into the base Patreon tier. The new recurring series being the Final Fantasy VI and other inspirations for Final Fantasy that'll be at the $2 tier.
Premium tier.
I mean, sometimes every dollar counts. I'm not going to begrudge that, but...
Oh, no,
anyway,
I 100%. I've had to be like...
Anyway, just a heads up.
Do I want to donate $2 or $1? You know, I have that.
Yeah, so... Just a heads up because Jen and I are very busy this month, but we will get it all out there before the month ends. So stay tuned for people on the Patreon. If not, then appreciate you all the same. Take us out, Jen.
Oh, goodness gracious. And that will do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. And 'tis love, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. 'Tis love, it's better than bad, it's good.
Killed it.
Yeah! If you would like to get in touch with us, you can at podreturnffxiv@gmail.com. We are on the blue sky at podreturnffxiv. Check the show notes for our Discord. Get in there and join us for some group runs. Share photos of your pets, of your glams. We got a meme channel. You know, shit's... What do the kids say? It's...
hot.
It's... it's fire in there. And you can also find a link for the t-shirt, the official podcast t-shirt, at the TeePublic link. And there is an shirt. And Levi did the drawing on it. It's really cool. It's pixel art. It's a Major General and Dragoon stuff. It's great. Anyway, so get one if you want. And last but not least, our Patreon. Patreon.com/podreturnffxiv. And as Levi just explained, you know, the different tiers and the stuff that we're talking about. Tier 1, we got seasonal events, we got Magic the Gathering, all that little stuff like that pops up. And then for $2, you get access to our bonus series, which this season is Final Fantasy VI. And for all our Patreon supporters, we love you and appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a good day or night, and we will see you next time.